أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم
পরম করুণাময় ও অসীম দয়ালু আল্লাহর নামে শুরু করছি।
এশিয়ার দক্ষিণ পশ্চিম কোণে দক্ষিণ চীন সাগর সংলগ্ন প্রায় ৩,২৯,৭৫০ বর্গ কিলোমিটার আয়তনে এশিয়ার অন্যতম সমৃদ্ধশালী দেশ মালয়েশিয়া, যাহার পুরো নাম ফেডারেল অব মালয়েশিয়া। দেশটির জনসংখ্যা ২,৩৫,২২,৪৮২ জন হলেও ঘনত্বের মাত্রা প্রতি বর্গ কিলোমিটারে ৭২ জন। জনসংখ্যার শিক্ষিতের হার ৯০% মতো। তবে অফিসিয়াল ভাষা মালয় হলেও ইংরাজি ও চাইনিজ ভাষার বেশ কদর রয়েছে। মালয়েশিয়া মুসলিম সমৃদ্ধ দেশ হলেও মুসলমানের সংখ্যা ৬০ ভাগ, বৌদ্ধ ধর্মাধীন লোকের সংখ্যা ২০ ভাগ এবং বাকি খ্রিস্টান ও হিন্দু ধর্মের লোক রয়েছে। দেশটি ইতিমধ্যেই ইলেকট্রনিক্স, গাড়ি ও অন্যান্য শিল্পে বিশ্ববাজারে স্থান করে নিয়েছে। মুদ্রার নাম রিঙ্গিত, যাহা বাংলাদেশি টাকার ১৮ গুণের সমান, অর্থাৎ ১ রিঙ্গিত সমান ১৮ টাকার মতো। দেশের সার্বিক অবস্থা লক্ষ্য করলে উন্নত ও ধনী জাতির ছাপ স্পষ্ট লক্ষ্য করা যায়, অর্থাৎ মাথাপিছু আয় $৯,০০০। গত ২০ বছরে বাংলাদেশি বংশোদ্ভূত মালয়েশিয়ার সর্বকালীন সর্বশেষ এবং সফল রাষ্ট্রনায়ক মহাথির মোহাম্মদ একক প্রচেষ্টায় ব্যাপক রাস্তাঘাট, সুউচ্চ ইমারত সহ শিল্প কারখানা যে উন্নত করেছে, তাহাতে এশিয়ার প্রথম সারির শিল্পোন্নত দেশে পরিণত হয়েছে মালয়েশিয়া। বিশ্বে প্রথম ২০০ তলার স্টিল বিল্ডিং পেস্ট্রনিক্স টাওয়ার কুয়ালালামপুরে অবস্থিত। সেই পেস্ট্রনিক্স টাওয়ার দেখার জন্য প্রকৌশলী মাহমুদ আলম, সহকারী প্রকৌশলী CMMU কুষ্টিয়া হতে ছুটে গিয়েছিলেন এক নজর দেখার জন্য। প্রকৌশল ও আর্কিটেকচারের এক অপূর্ব সমন্বয় দেখে বিস্মিত হয়েছেন। ধন্য হয়েছে তার বিদেশ যাত্রার পরিপূর্ণতা, পূর্ণ হয়েছে জীবনের এক দুর্লভ ইচ্ছা। মালয়েশিয়ার উচ্চশিক্ষার মান সারা বিশ্বে শুধু গৃহীতই হচ্ছে না, প্রশংসিত হচ্ছে। দেশটিতে ১৫০টি দেশের ৩৬,০০০ বিদেশি শিক্ষার্থী পড়াশোনা করছে। এখানে রয়েছে ১৭টি পাবলিক বিশ্ববিদ্যালয়, ২১টি প্রাইভেট বিশ্ববিদ্যালয় এবং ৬৭টি ইন্টারন্যাশনাল বিশ্ববিদ্যালয়ের ক্যাম্পাস। এছাড়া রয়েছে ৭০৬টি প্রাইভেট ইনস্টিটিউট। এদেশের রাজনৈতিক পরিবেশ অত্যন্ত সুস্থ ও শান্ত হওয়ায় বিশ্বের সমস্ত বড় বড় রাজনীতিবিদগণ মালয়েশিয়ায় জেন্টিং হাইওয়ে ইন্টেনমেন্ট সিটিতে প্রায় মিলিত হন। জেন্টিং হাইওয়ে সিটি কুয়ালালামপুর থেকে প্রায় ১০০ কিলোমিটার দূরে বিস্তৃত ও সীমাহীন পর্বতের শীর্ষে অবস্থিত এবং কল্পনার রাজ্যে স্বপ্নের শহর, যেখানে সীমাহীন আকাশে পর্বত শীর্ষে মেঘ ও সূর্যের আলোর মিলন মেলা। প্রতি বছর বিশ্বের সর্বোচ্চ জুয়া খেলায় মেতে ওঠে বিশ্বের শীর্ষ ধনী ব্যক্তিরা। স্তরে স্তরে সাজানো রয়েছে আলিশান হোটেল এবং রেস্টুরেন্ট। কেবল কারে চেপে পৌঁছে গিয়েছিলেন প্রকৌশলী মাহমুদ আলম ওই জেন্টিং হাইওয়ে সিটিতে। উপলব্ধি করেন মালয়েশিয়ার বিলাসবহুল জীবনযাত্রা। পুত্রজায়া ও জহুল বাহার মালয়েশিয়ার নয়নতারা দুটি শহর, যাহাই রয়েছে এক আলাদা বৈশিষ্ট্য। এক কথায় বলতে হয়, মালয়েশিয়া এক অপূর্ব দেশ বসবাস ও ভ্রমণের জন্য। এজন্যই মালয়েশিয়ায় ভ্রমণের জন্য সবাইকে আমন্ত্রণ।
Malaysia conjures up images of sultans, tea plantations, and steamy jungles. Today, it's a vibrant mix of different cultures: Malay, Chinese, Indian, and indigenous people. It's a modern country, but it also has some of the oldest rainforests on the planet. And just across the border are the beaches of southern Thailand. Sitting in the heart of Southeast Asia, Malaysia and southern Thailand are two of the most accessible destinations in the whole of Asia. My journey starts in Kuala Lumpur. I then travel up to the jungles of the Temangor Dam before heading east to Kota Bharu and the coast. I then fly back to Kuala Lumpur for Malaysia's biggest Hindu festival. Then I take the train north to the island of Phuket in southern Thailand. Imagine, only 100 years ago, Kuala Lumpur was nothing but a tin mining shantytown. Kuala means estuary and Lumpur means mud. Well, it's come a long way since it was a muddy estuary. Though it's the biggest city in Malaysia, it's one of the smallest of the Southeast Asian capitals, but it has a huge vision of itself. Kuala Lumpur is racing into the 21st century, and everyone's talking about Vision 2020, which is the policy launched by Prime Minister Mahathir in 1991 to try and make Malaysia a fully developed nation by the year 2020. There's signs of this push everywhere. They're building furiously. There's a little of the old Kuala Lumpur left, but it looks like it's disappearing pretty fast. Dominated by the Petronas Towers, in 1999 the tallest buildings in the world, Kuala Lumpur has a population of 1.5 million people comprising Malay, Chinese, and Indian nationalities. The main religion in Malaysia is Islam, and now is the time of Ramadan, when Muslims fast every day until sunset for 1 month. Bargain hotels are to be found in Chinatown, where I'm hoping to get a room at the Coliseum Hotel. Yes, I'd like a room.
With aircon or without aircon?
Without air conditioning.
Show your passport.
My passport, certainly. The official language here is Bahasa Malaysian, or Malay, but because it's such a multiracial country, there's other Asian languages spoken here, Indian languages, Chinese languages, but the second most spoken language in Malaysia is English. Still, it's a good idea to learn a few words in Malay, like thank you. How do you say thank you? Terima kasih. Terima kasih. That's a funky door. It's got a sort of 1950s Chinese converted classroom kind of a feel. Anyway, it looks really clean, and the bed is kind of squeaky. That's sweet. They provide flip-flops for you to take down to where the showers and the toilets are at the end of the hall. Well, if you get hungry during Ramadan and you want to eat sometime before dark, there's basically two places you can go to in Kuala Lumpur where you'll find food. Chinatown and India Street. Indians have been coming to Malaysia for about 2,000 years, but they only started settling here in the 19th century when the British brought them over to work on the rubber plantations. And even though they make up only less than 10% of the Malay population, you can feel their culture everywhere. You can smell it too. Hello, hi.
Have a seat.
Thank you very much.
Would you like to have some rice, madam?
I'd like to have one of whatever they're having.
Okay, no problem.
Thank you.
Would you like to have some vegetables?
I
With
would
the
love
rice?
to.
It comes with the rice.
Vegetables, yes.
Yes.
That looks good. Okra.
That's lady's
Okra.
finger.
Yeah, ladies. Yeah, we call it okra.
That's bitter gourd.
What's it called?
Bitter gourd.
Bitter gourd. Okay.
Some rice for you, ma'am.
Please, rice. Is there more saucy stuff? What's that stuff they've got? Yeah, that.
This
that
is
one.
dal.
This is all vegetable.
Yes, this is pure vegetable. This
Nice.
is non-spicy.
That
And this is
looks nice.
spicy curry. This
Spicy curry.
Yeah, this is vegetarian curry as well.
Vegetarian curry.
Yeah, but it's spicy.
Okay, I'll have a little of that.
Okay.
Thank you. Oh.
Okay.
Well, apart from the sensual pleasure of eating with your hands, it's quite practical because you get to figure out the temperature of the food before it hits your mouth. The only thing you have to remember when you're eating with your hands is to use your right hand because your left hand is for something else. In fact, if you're going to shake someone's hand or if you're going to give money with your hand or if you're going to eat, you use your right hand.
How do you like the food, madam? Like it?
I love it.
Thank you.
How much does this cost?
We charge for the vegetarian food $3.50 a person.
That's $1.
Yes.
And when I'm finished, what do I do?
You just close it.
I close it?
to your side.
Toward me like
yes,
this.
that's
Got
the
it.
significance of this is you like the food,
Okay.
and you prefer to come in.
And
here
I want to
again.
come again.
Yes.
Okay, but I'm not finished, so.
You can have it again.
Now, if you were to fold it this way, it would mean that you didn't like the food and you don't ever want to come back again. Although they do it like this on purpose at funerals, just to indicate that they don't want to be at the funeral. This is Petaling Street, the heart of Chinatown, and, excuse me, the place to come shopping for fakes. If you're into wearing stuff that's got name brands emblazoned all over, then this is the street to come to. Look at all these watches. Pirating is really big in this part of the world. This movie just opened about a week ago in Hollywood. How did it get here? And what is this? Is this a video CD? Video CD. Never heard of it.
Rolex Cartier Studio.
Let me see a Rolex.
Rolex.
Rolex is a very expensive watch.
Very
Now, how much is this Rolex?
45 ringgit.
45 ringgit. That's like what? $15? Like 15 US dollars? Is that a good watch?
Yeah, it's a good watch.
Are some fakes better than other fakes?
Yeah, but different.
So what's your best fake?
Rolex.
Rolex. Let's say if I was your mother and you wanted to give your mother a nice fake, which fake would you give her?
Okay, this one. Gucci.
So that's Gucci and Dior. So these are good fakes. And how long does this last?
It lasts 1 year, 1.5 years.
1.5 years. So really, these watches are crap, right? I mean, let's be honest, right? They're not really good. People buy them for the name.
Yeah,
They like the name. People like names. Well, thanks for explaining this all to me and for saving me $15. Thank you. On the road, and I'm traveling 3 hours north from Kuala Lumpur through the Cameron Highlands and on another 6 hours to the Temangor Dam and its tropical rainforests. Driving is easy in Malaysia. The roads are just as good as any in the United States or Europe, and car rental is reasonably priced. Malaysia has a typically tropical climate, hot and humid all year round. And if you're coming in the monsoon season, it might be a good idea to rent a Jeep, as it's not uncommon for roads to be washed away.
Malaysia's been blessed with fantastic natural resources. For a long time, it was the world's largest producer of tin, and then rubber came along. Actually, the story I read about how rubber came to Malaysia is a good one. These Brits took 9 seeds from Brazil, cultivated them in England, and brought a few of the seedlings over to Malaysia, and boom, in 30 years the country was covered in rubber. Since then, palm oil has dominated the scene, and they just discovered vast oil and gas reserves off the east coast.
The area around the Temangor Dam is home to some of the world's oldest rainforests and Malaysia's oldest tribes.
It's about a 2-hour boat ride to get out to the village where the Orang Asli live. That means original people. And unless you speak Malay and you're familiar with the jungle, it's probably not a good idea to go out there without a guide. So Ruben's taken me along. As a young man, he trained Malaysian, English, and British forces in jungle survival skills. So I think I'm in good hands.
A trek like this one, including food, transport, and a bed for the night, will cost no more than $40 a day.
Is rainforest destruction a big issue in Malaysia?
Oh, controversial question, yeah. Depends on who you are. If you are the government, you say it is not a problem. But if you are an NGO, non-governmental organization, they say it is.
What do you think?
The government does have some really good policies on logging. Like you're not allowed to chop a tree below a certain diameter. But let's say I'm cutting one tree here like 4 feet in diameter, and then I see that tree, it's a little bit small, but I like it. So I'll chop this tree to fall against that tree. Oh, sorry,
Right.
2 trees.
And no one's watching.
And then, of course, when you chop the trees, you got to pull them out in the tractors, you have to drag this, drag that, and
It
you
just
kill
destroys
thousands
the
of trees,
forest.
yeah. But, progress.
But right here,
progress.
it's not a big problem.
Nah, it's no logging done here.
It's just so beautiful here.
Malaysia may be hurtling into the 21st century, but it is still possible to visit remote villages where the pace of life is more in tune with nature.
Well, there's about 100 old people living here. Now, what's your balance here? Hello, Mama Jam. Ini mau bantu perempuan dulu lah. Ya, betul. Ini Justin. Long. Pagi. That's morning, ya. That's puppy dah, ya. Yeah, and this one is black dog.
Black
Okay.
dog.
Okay, full of fleas, very nice. Okay, let's go up there. Ini hari ada apa rencana, Along?
Jadi sekarang ni tengah ada siap dia punya peluru-peluru.
What he's saying is tonight he'll get some boys to go into the jungle to look for some gravy. The word is gravy, go for a hunting party. He'll be going up tonight.
Kalau boleh ikut lah.
You want to follow?
Are you going?
Yes, I am, yeah. You're going, I'm going, yeah.
It's okay. It's not too dangerous.
Kalau dia boleh ikut, bagus lah. Pergi boleh, ya?
Boleh.
Okay,
What is-
just
Apa
welcome,
salah
ya.
ini?
Boleh, can. Terima kasih, ya.
Terima
Yes,
kasih.
thank you.
What's this called?
This game is called sepak takraw.
Sepak takraw.
It's kind of like a volleyball game, but played with the feet, yeah.
The rain really comes up suddenly, doesn't it? Yeah.
Indeed, yeah.
It's
Tropical weather.
nice. It's cool.
It is.
That's poison.
That's poison. The black stuff is poison, yes. From a tree called the ipo tree. Tabung, boleh kasi tabung tak?
Ya, dan
Kasi
kena
tabung dia.
tebalnya.
The thing is, let's say, okay, now this is a dart. This thing has got poison, yeah? The whole idea when they shoot this thing into the animal, it sticks into the flesh. Now there's a little cut somewhere at this tip here where they hit the animal, it's designed to break off. Only the tip remains to allow the poison to work.
And what are the darts made out of?
Bamboo.
Oh, really?
And then this little thing here is like cotton wool, yeah? This is to put it at the mouth of the blowpipe so the dart doesn't drop out, and when you blow, that's like the air just burst out. That's where the power is.
So how long is that poison good for? Do they have to do this every time they go out on a hunt?
Oh, it's not like the shelf life stuff, you know. You can, if I stick this in your chest after 5 years, it's still going to work.
Really?
Yes, it is. One big hit.
Can I try it?
Yeah, go ahead, have a shot. Coba bikin satu, kasih dicoba. Okay.
I guess I have to just be careful not to inhale.
Kita berdiri dulu punya tempat.
Okay. Breath in.
This dance is called a sawang, typically performed as a celebration, in this case for the New Year. The dancers wear traditional costumes made from woven leaves, and the women beat bamboo poles on wood to provide the beat. Next morning, I set off early with the hunters.
By the way, Justin, this nice staircase you are walking on now, they actually caused by elephant footprints. Yeah? You can see there's a nail print over here.
An elephant?
Yep.
That's amazing. Is it crazy for me to wear shorts, Ruben?
Personally, I like shorts because you can see the leeches climbing up you and suck your blood, so you just can pull them out, yeah?
So I can see the leeches.
You can see them, yeah? Long pants, you don't see anything.
Right. I don't think I'd know a leech if it hit me in the face.
Well, you'll find out soon enough.
Yeah, oh, good.
Okay, hang on to that.
This is how Tarzan did it, huh?
Okay, yeah. Just like in the movie.
Squishy.
Balance is very
this
important
feels
here.
nice.
It is.
Ruben, there's something sucking my leg.
That's a leech, yeah.
Oof.
Don't move, don't move. There we are. It's a leech, yeah.
That's a leech.
Yeah.
Is this a bad thing?
Not really, it doesn't harm you.
It's just kind of a bloody mess.
Getting ready for bed takes on a whole new meaning in the jungle. This temporary shelter is made out of palm leaves.
This is very exciting. I've never built my own house before.
And just keep bending it down. 1, 2, 3. Make it all the same direction, parallel. That way you sort of encourage the rainwater to flow in one direction.
How long does one of these last out here?
Usually 6 months.
6 months? Really?
As soon as night falls, the hunters catch dinner in the nearby river.
These are the juiciest looking frogs I've ever seen. How do they catch them?
We'll use the torchlight, and this light will blind the frogs. And then these frogs are immobilized once they're blind. So they will come near and take a machete and whack them over the head.
What is he doing?
This is a bamboo section, yeah? So instead of using pots and pans, we use bamboo here. Just put them all there, fill some water, including the salt, oil, garlic, you name it, yeah. See, this bamboo is green. It doesn't burn.
Right.
So you put it over a flame. So by the time this bamboo is dry and ready to burn, your food will be cooked.
Oh, that is brilliant.
Yeah. Okay. There we are, guys.
Okay, frog. Really don't want to find an eyeball in my mouth. Take the skin off.
Let's coba soup sedikit. Strong nggak? Strong sih ya.
That's great. You know, it almost tastes like lobster. How do you say delicious in orang in your language?
Bahasa Temya, sedap apa macam cakap?
Meg.
Mate.
Mate.
Mate. Mate. It's kind of funny to hear the frogs croaking while we're eating the frogs.
Yeah, they're cheering us on.
The guides from the village were up way before I was. They've gone hunting, and Ruben and I are going to catch up with them. How is Vishnu going to find them?
There'll be a branch, bend, or a broken twig or something like that, which they will recognize.
Like little signs.
Little signs, and then there'll be footprints. And then more bent twigs and all that. Justine, when you cross over here,
Yeah.
don't touch the sheath, yeah?
Don't touch that.
Don't touch, you can touch the green part. You see this I'm scraping off?
Yeah.
This is very tiny needles, like fur kind of needle.
Yeah.
This is actually used for poison to kill somebody slowly, yeah? See? What you do is you feed somebody a nice dinner, put in the curry, mix it up, so he will eat the food, and then when it goes into the stomach, it sort of sticks on the intestines. And then it doesn't go away, but slowly as you eat other food and the intestines works, the needles will work itself into the intestines, killing you softly. This mixed with moth wing powder is excellent. You see that broken branch here? That's a marker made by the hunters saying this way.
It's kind of like Hansel and Gretel. Is that it? They're finished.
Yeah, that's it. Didn't seem like they get anything.
Oh, no, he's got something.
It's just that, you guys making too much noise, yeah? Oh, they chatter.
So that's it then?
Yeah, that's...
Are they disappointed?
They don't seem like it.
No.
This is what the jungle was willing to give, and this is what they're willing to accept.
It's beautiful.
Yeah,
What
this is
that?
a giant Malayan squirrel.
Is that as giant as they get?
No, it is not very big.
No.
It's one of those noisy squirrels in the jungle. So cute, aren't they?
Kind of.
Yeah? Look at the stuff sticking out. Say cheese.
From the jungles around the Temangor Dam, I'm traveling up to Kota Baru on the east coast, then out to the Perhentian Islands and down to Terengganu. Separated from the rest of the country by jungle, the east coast is the most traditional region of Malaysia and Kelantan its most strict Islamic state. Although Kelantan is not as fundamentalist as many Islamic countries, it is increasingly becoming that way. I've come to Kota Baru for Hari Raya, the celebration marking the end of the month-long fast of Ramadan. Elia has invited me to her home for the festivities.
This area is so different from Kuala Lumpur and the area around there.
Very much different. Because Kelantan is ruled by Islamic government party here. So they don't encourage all those modern developments here because they want to keep the Islamic way of living.
More traditional.
More traditional, yes.
So what kind of work do they do out here?
They are more on petani, which is farm.
Farming. Is this rice?
Yes,
here?
yes.
Terima kasih. Gosh, what a lot of kids.
It's not unusual for a Malay to welcome you into their home, and Hari Raya is a very special time to visit. It's a bit like Christmas without the presents, and the celebrations around it can go on for days.
Okay, this is what they call silat, the traditional martial art in Malaysia. They will dance and fight at the same time, It's just like every individual, they have their own movement.
Silat originated in the south of Malaysia in the 15th century. Today, it has become a much more stylized and refined art, which is traditionally performed at weddings and other ceremonies and accompanied by drums and gongs. Although it's more of a dance than a martial art, it can get a little rough. The morning of Hari Raya, and everyone is up early to prepare for the day ahead.
Most of the people in the house are going to the mosque this morning, but a few of the women are staying behind to prepare the food. Ali and I are going to help in the kitchen. Everyone's really dressed up. Glad I found something in the market yesterday.
This is a major holiday in the Muslim calendar, and after visiting the mosque, the entire family acknowledges that it is the end of Ramadan by sharing an enormous meal. There's a lot of fasting to make up for.
That was the prayer?
It's not unusual for a household to keep a pet monkey, and sometimes they're even taught to perform small tasks.
He's giving commands to the monkey.
One Simon's giving commands?
Yes.
Like what? What kind of commands?
The coconut, the young one.
He's saying pick the young coconut.
Yeah.
And the monkey understands that?
Yes.
How do you say young one?
It's muda.
Muda! Oh, look at them! Is he looking for a muda coconut?
Yes. Okay, it's very common. Like in Kelantan they train monkey, and in Western they train dogs. Yeah, just like that.
Really makes a thud when it lands, huh?
Tadi diturun ke?
This is kind of dangerous, isn't it?
Kite flying is a favorite recreation in Malaysia, but it's also taken quite seriously. On the East Coast, they hold competitions for the greatest heights reached, and there are even contests between fighting kites.
This is a postcard, yeah?
Gambar dekat mana ditinggal.
And this is a picture of San Francisco, where I live.
Negeri yang ditinggal.
Yeah? How do you say bridge?
Jembatan.
Most travelers who visit the East Coast go to the Perhentian Islands, which are easily accessible but still relatively unspoiled.
Hi.
The boat ride takes an hour, and a return ticket will cost only $10. Pulau Perhentian means stopover islands, and at $5 a night for a beach cabin, it makes sense to stay for as long as you can.
Is there anything you'd suggest to someone coming here? Definitely do this, definitely don't do this.
Definitely come to these islands. They're amazing. One bit of advice that I would say is do everything you want to do, see everything you want to see, and then go to the beach. Otherwise, you never do anything.
You'll never leave the
just stay
beach
on the
once
beach.
you hit the beach.
Yeah.
Apart from the fabulous beaches, most people come here for the scuba diving, or if you're not up for that, you can rent snorkeling gear instead.
Well, there's some advantages to being in Malaysia during monsoon season. It was raining on the mainland, and here it's just gorgeous. It's very unpredictable, but the good thing is that during monsoon season, there are very few people hanging around the island, so you sort of feel like you've got them all to yourself. So colorful down there.
The Perhentian Islands are part of Malaysia's marine parks, zoned as a sanctuary to preserve the coral reef. The crystal clear waters house an abundance of marine life for the conscientious visitor to enjoy. Terengganu is one of the most beautiful Malaysian states. Driving along its 140-mile coastline, you pass endless palm-lined, white sandy beaches and tiny fishing villages, and you'll never be short of places to pause for rest and refreshment in idyllic surroundings. The lush, fertile, tropical landscape of Malaysia is the stuff of legends. At the end of a day of traveling, Aui's yellow house, which is built on stilts, is calm, cool, and as far away from the action as you can get. From Terengganu, I'm heading back to Kuala Lumpur. Internal flights are reasonably priced and enable you to cross the country very quickly. I'm back in the capital just in time for one of the biggest festivals in Southeast Asia, the Hindu festival of Thaipusam.
This is Prabha, and this is his very large family. The night before Thaipusam, and everyone's getting ready for Thaipusam. And Krishna, what are you doing tomorrow?
I do the chariot.
You're pulling the chariot. So you're putting this hook in your body, and then you're putting a rope through here, this rope, and then you're attaching this to the chariot, and then you're pulling the chariot. Aren't you scared? Is there blood everywhere?
No.
No blood?
No blood.
And who is the god? Which god is it?
This Lord Murugan.
Lord Muruga. And Lord Muruga is the son of Shiva. And Shiva is a very important Hindu god. Is this one sharp enough?
I don't think so.
Krishna, you're so skinny. How are you going to pull that chariot?
Actually not. He's not going to pull the chariot.
Your mind will pull the chariot.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'd say that basically the people in this part of the world, they aren't demanding at all. Like, they're very giving. I'm always welcome. Every house in the neighborhood I'm staying seems to have an open door policy, and English is just no longer a second language over here. And so yeah, you can get a lot out of the people. You can talk about their opinions and things rather than do you understand the way to? Instead of like it just being very basic and pidgin English, you can sit and talk about their culture in English, or if you wanted, you could talk in Malay, because it's a fairly easy language to pick up as well.
Just outside the city are the Batu Caves, where Krishna and his brother will join the 1 million Hindu devotees who come from all over the country to pay homage to the Lord Muruga. The most devout will undergo weeks of intense purification, including fasting and celibacy, to prepare for this ultimate test of faith. Some people will pierce themselves and carry heavy burdens as an act of penance and a sign of their devotion.
I think I lost my family. I don't know. Some of them are behind me, some of them are in front of me, but I guess when you get 1 million people together and half of them are in a trance, it's bound to get a bit chaotic. But what's certain is that everybody's going to climb these 272 steps to get to the top, to the Batu Caves. And the reason that Thaipusam ends there is because that's where the spirit of the Lord Muruga resides. About 100 years ago, they found this stone in the cave, the shape of a spade, what's called a vel, and that's the symbol of the Lord Muruga. And everyone is bringing offerings to the Lord Muruga. That's what Thaipusam is all about. It's making offerings to the god. This is where the procession ends, and the piercings are removed, and the people come out of their trance. And these big, beautiful, colorful things are called kavadis, and the offerings are inside of them, and people bring the offerings over to the altar of the Lord Muruga. as it looks. Thaipusam has a lot in common with other devotional processions, like a Catholic pilgrimage, the whole penance thing. Here they'll pull the chariots with the hooks on their backs, and the Catholics on their pilgrimages, they carry those heavy, heavy crosses for miles and miles, and all of them end at an altar or a shrine, asking for a blessing, making an offering to a god or the Virgin Mary or the Lord Muruga.
From Kuala Lumpur, I'm taking the train north over the border into Thailand, where I make my way round the coast to the island of Phuket. It's a good idea to buy a standing room only ticket for $6, then pay $2 for an upgrade on the train. Buying the same ticket at the station will cost you 3 times as much.
The train just stopped here so that everybody could go through passport control. We're in Thailand now, and getting back on the same train, changing my watch back an hour.
The train takes about 3.5 hours to Hat Yai in Thailand. From there, you can get a bus to Phuket, another 6 hours away. Over the last few years, tourism has hit Phuket in a big way. Hotels like Cape Panwa are well beyond the budget of most travelers, but still it's worth a visit to its private beach to enjoy a Thai massage for just $10.
It's a little strong.
With beaches like this, it's no wonder southern Thailand is almost overrun with tourists. A quick and relatively safe way to get about the more remote parts of the island is by motorbike taxi. I'm heading into Patong to check out the nightlife. Patong attracts visitors from all over the world, looking for all sorts of experiences.
One tip I would like to give to fellow travellers here is that just to be a little bit careful, for example, to make sure they've got condoms with them, because the sex industry is high here and the HIV rate is very, very high, and you just got to be a little bit careful.
But it's not only prostitution, it's also people fall in love because the girls are extremely pretty. And you just have to think a little bit about that, because it's a big problem in Thailand.
And other than that, it's a wonderful country and it's so easy travelling in. It's fantastic.
Well, the fact that the sex trade is big in Thailand is not news, but it's just kind of weird to see so much of it on these beautiful islands. And since there isn't that much nightlife outside the big cities in Malaysia, a lot of Malaysians and tourists come up to the islands for this: cheap booze and cheap sex. Species on our right. Excuse me, where can I buy a bottle of water? I don't see any shops or anything. Water? Yes. Water?
Over the last several decades, foreign men have been coming to Thailand looking for sex. Now, over 2 million visit each year, and the sex industry has become an established part of the Thai economy. And Patong's red light district is growing steadily. Northeast of Patong is a sanctuary which houses some of the lesser-known casualties of Phuket's sex bars.
Most of our gibbons come from bars where they've been used to attract tourists into the bars. They're also used on beaches where they'll put it on your shoulder and charge you 400 or 500 baht for a photograph.
Oh. And what's the fine if you get caught with them now?
It's 4 years imprisonment and for Thai man about 2 to 3 months' wages. Because of the abuse that they receive in the bars, some of our gibbons have very strange behaviours. We have one who's an alcoholic. She was force-fed alcohol, whiskey and beer. We've had one gibbon that was literally had the song beaten out of him. He was singing too loud for the jukebox. They're drugged with amphetamines to keep them awake, and other ones to keep them docile as well. This is our long-distance feeding system. We use this to try and break down contact between the gibbons and us.
So you put the food on the trolley because it's too dangerous to get too close to them?
Well, no. If we put this trolley down, it goes into the top of their feeding cage, and that encourages them to actually pick from above them, as they would do naturally in the forest.
What's so special about gibbons?
They have 95% of our DNA. They are really close relatives.
So they're very intelligent?
Highly intelligent. They are immensely agile. They can turn speeds of up to 30 kilometers an hour.
Just an hour away by boat from the sanctuary is an island where gibbons are released back into the wild.
This one here is Koh Tong. That's where we have the 5 gibbons on it. The smaller one is just next door.
So you haven't moved many of them over there yet?
They're too small. The natural territory for a gibbon is about 25 hectares.
You know what that sign means?
It says Gibbon Rehabilitation Project. Gibbons bite, don't feed.
Oh, is he okay? Did he get bit?
No. Okay, that was Smiley. That was him being aggressive. That's why he's still on the island. This island is used as a halfway house between cage and release. Once a gibbon has lived on this island for a while and we monitor their behaviour and we find that they're behaving naturally and removing themselves when we approach, then we want to move into rainforest and set them free on the mainland.
On the other side of Phang Nga Bay is the town of Krabi, the starting point for my final adventure of the trip, a sea canoe trek back across the bay to Phuket.
30 baht? Yes. Kap kun ka.
Thank you.
Thank you. This place is really popular. It's Ao Nong Beach, just outside of Krabi, and I'm looking for this company called Sea Canoe. They're the first ones to take people kayaking out to the caves, and it's run by this guy, a sort of eco-warrior. His name is John Gray, but he likes people to call him Caveman.
John Gray originally comes from the west coast of the United States. For years, he's been fighting to save the lagoons of southern Thailand before they're destroyed by mass tourism. The lagoons, or hongs as they are known, are completely surrounded by rocks and can only be entered through the caves.
Isn't it spectacular? This is limestone, and what creates a situation like this is you've got the rainwater percolates down from the top of the island and finds a little crack and works its way all the way down until eventually it eats open the cylinder, and then you've got the crack in the rock here that starts out as a little fault line, and the tides will eat its way through there, and eventually this will fall through. And it won't be a hong anymore, it'll just be a little bay.
Just be an opening.
Yeah, be a little cove. This is very unusual to have a beach inside of one of these, actually, yeah.
It seems a million miles away from Hollywood here, but Phang Nga Bay's most famous feature is Khao Ping Gan, or James Bond Island, which was used as the villain's hideaway in The Man with the Golden Gun. A trip like this will cost about $80 a day, which includes the boat and guide, as well as the accommodation and the delicious food. This idyllic spot is an unlikely setting for the fierce and sometimes dangerous environmental battle being waged to protect the bay.
This is one of the last pristine spots in the bay. So not a whole lot of people get here, and we try to keep it a secret because these are world treasures and they're serene, almost religious spots.
So is there a lot of rivalry between you and other companies?
Oh, sure. We actually had our operations manager got shot.
Shot?
Yeah, shot 3 times, yeah. And
Okay.
yeah, he's going to live. Yeah, he's going to live. Basically, they decided to lock us out of the caves.
Who's
and
they?
These other companies, and financed this by collecting an illegal fee from tourists to go into the caves.
Why did they shoot the manager
Because
of Sea Canoe?
we refused to pay the fee, and we practice environmental sensitivity and respect for nature. It's an educational experience with us. They go in there and have song fests and chase out the wildlife and climb the mangrove trees and break the branches, break off the stalactites for souvenirs.
Really?
Because they don't pay their staff any money, so they work for the tip. So that you want to take a stalactite, be my guest.
The sea canoe trips also include camping out on beaches dotted around the bay. If you do choose to camp on the beach, be sure to keep the tent flap zipped up. The patter of feet in the night may be giant monitor lizards. John Gray's eco-friendly tours will lead you to the famous cave formations now under threat from vandals.
Okay, Justine, let me turn on the light here and show you the stalactites. They're really beautiful.
They are beautiful. They really sparkle, don't they?
Yeah. What happens is the water comes down through the mountain, it collects minerals, and the minerals are deposited on the outer edge of the stalactites. To find them in the sea is a real treat. Southeast Asia is one of the few places you can do it.
The message here, respect the environment, look, but don't touch.
There's over 300 varieties of mangrove, and they're really important because they're the nursery of the sea. The fish will come in here and breed, and then the baby fish will grow, and they'll live in the protection of the mangrove roots. But if there's no mangrove for them to grow, they never get the chance to even breed. Thailand has a serious problem with mangrove depletion, and shrimp farming has a lot to do with it. They just go in and take everything out.
The fish of the ocean and the life of the ocean depends on the mangrove.
Yeah, it's really crucial as our population is increasing, our fisheries are decreasing, and we're going to come to a critical point in about 2025.
Roll and roll and roll you boat.
Roll your boat. Gently down the street. Merrily, 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 merrily. Life is but a...
No matter what mood you're in or what kind of traveler you are, there's something for everyone in Malaysia. Big cities, exotic jungles, idyllic beaches, and the villages in the countryside. And it's a pleasure traveling through a country in Asia that's so efficient. I just hope that with the big push toward modernization, they don't destroy what's so Malaysian about the place. And a lot of people come to southern Thailand expecting that all they're going to find are a bunch of gorgeous beaches. But the thing is, if you hook up with good people, you can't imagine what you'll find here. Time moves slowly in Southeast Asia, which is good because it gives you an opportunity to take it all in.